Welcome on in. We are live. Happy Friday. Thank you to everybody who is watching along live or will be watching along later. I really do appreciate it. Happy Friday, everybody. Guys, I know I say this a lot and it never happens, but for real this time, this is going to be a shorter show unless you guys give me like a really good question that lets me like ramble on for like 10 minutes. However, I do want to jump into the show immediately because we have to cover some very sad news that sort of sent shockwaves through the NBA and Suns world. Unless you've been living under a rock, unfortunately, the voice of the Phoenix Suns, the legend himself, Al McCoy, passed away recently at the age of 91. And I'm going to be real with you guys for a minute. There's really nothing I can say that will even do a justice or scratch the surface of honoring the great Al McCoy. And I don't mean that to be offensive. It's just I don't think I have the words personally to honor Al McCoy, but I'm going to do my best. 51 years of covering the Phoenix Suns, broadcasting the Phoenix Suns on TV, the radio, everything. Can you imagine doing the same job for 51 years? 51 years, you guys. And, you know, his iconic career, his passion, dedication, his love for this team, his love for broadcasting, his love for just doing his job can never be matched. And it didn't matter if he was on TV or the radio or, you know, if he was interviewing people, he loved his job. And there's a reason he did it for 51 years. That will be unmatched. More on that a little bit later, by the way. And yes, I took a little bit of notes here. I'm going to read you guys a quote, but because again, I need sort of help with trying to come up with the words for Al McCoy. You know, there's a lot of discussion about who the greatest Phoenix Sun player is, you know, Devin Booker, Steve Nash, Charles Barkley, Alvin Adams, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody on my wall back here, right? There's a debate for who the greatest Phoenix Sun player, and I say player, is. And that's fine. We'll be talking about that for decades. But the greatest Phoenix Sun is Al McCoy. Hands down, no question. I just got a notification on my phone. The greatest Phoenix Sun ever is Al McCoy. Sorry, I had to silence my phone real quick. And saying that Al McCoy inspired people's careers, including myself, not that I have a career, but inspired me and inspired others is a complete understatement. Seriously, you guys, especially for the younger generation, just go to a website called Google and just Google Al McCoy. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram or even Facebook and just search Al McCoy and read and educate yourself on Al McCoy. So speaking of that, I want to read you guys a quote. And real quick, from what I read and heard, I have a small story later, but I never actually got to meet Al McCoy. But from what I read and heard, he was an incredible man on and off the court. He was a family man, a great colleague, all that great stuff. Al McCoy was incredible. So I want to read you guys a quote from the Suns website. And while I'm doing that, just real quick, we're going to just pull this up. The Suns social media team put out a bunch of quotes and pictures and memories of Al McCoy and all this good stuff. As you can see right here, hold on, you guys, let me just, okay, what's going on here? By the way, we are having a small storm over here where I'm currently at. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, they put out, you know, the posts honoring Al McCoy and everything. And Says Phoenix Suns Ring of Honor member and legendary radio play-by-play announcer Al McCoy has passed away peacefully at the age of 91. And I want to read you guys a quote from the Suns website. And it says, and I quote, "The longest tenured team broadcaster in NBA history, McCoy was widely known as the dean of NBA broadcasters for his years of service and unique broadcasting style. He serviced 51 seasons as the voice of the Suns, calling his first game on September 27th, 1970. I'm so sorry, I butchered that. Calling his first game on September 27th, 1972, and on his last, I can't read, and his last on May 11th, 2023. That's a day before my birthday. That's my sister's birthday. Fun fact. McCoy's unforgettable calls of the most memorable moments in Suns history, including 3 trips to the NBA Finals, and his trademark phrases from Shazam to Zing, from Shazam to Zing, Go the Strings, and Heartbreak Hotel have cemented his legacy throughout Arizona and the NBA. His distinctive voice, vivid descriptions, and deep knowledge of the game created a unique style that remains a staple for more than 5 decades. McCoy will forever be known as the voice of the Phoenix Suns. I want to shake the hand or hands of the people who wrote that, because that quote alone does a great job of just Al McCoy's career in life and everything he did for the Suns. He is the voice of the Suns. He is the greatest Sun ever, and he will be missed. And when I say that it sent shockwaves throughout the NBA and the Suns community and the Suns world, it did. There were people like Mike Breen, for example. You know, the guy goes bang, like he got on the air and talked about Al McCoy, and just so many others and so many companies and people in the NBA, and Adam Silver and Devin Booker, and so many people just paid tribute to the late, great Al McCoy. So, you know, and like I said, I sort of have a quick story here, because again, I never really got to meet Al McCoy, but I sort of did. Long story short, do you guys remember when the Suns had that open practice up at Northern Arizona, or NAU? They had an open practice, and I got there pretty early with a couple friends of mine, and I think he got out of the car either with Tom Leander or Kevin Ray, and we kind of parked near them, and we all got out of the car at the same time. I was like, oh my God, I was like, that's Al McCoy. And I wish I would have been that fan that went up and asked him for a picture, but I didn't. But I said hello. He turned around, said hello back. I wish I would have gotten a photo with him. But that's sort of my point. Like, from every story that I read and from things that I heard and listened to, he was just a very nice guy and loved the fans. And seriously, guys, just educate yourself on Al McCoy. Go on Google, go on Twitter, read stuff. Educate yourself about Al McCoy, the greatest Sun forever. Christy, appreciate you being here. She says, swish-a-roo for 2. Absolutely. I'm sorry if I butchered those quotes earlier, by the way, you guys. You guys know I can't read. Shout out to Jay. Thank you for being here. He said, there's not enough words to define how good Al was. Exactly. David, appreciate you being here. What up, Geek Squad? Appreciate you, man. Okay, guys. So there's no like moving on from Al McCoy, and I don't want to do that, but we are going to move on with the rest of this show. But I was going to let you guys know that throughout the season, especially when I have guests on, I want to talk to them about Al McCoy, and we're going to hear stories and just memories and what Al McCoy meant to other people. So the more I get guests on, especially in the Suns community, we will continue to honor Al that way. We will continue to honor him all season and afterwards. So rest in peace to Al McCoy. I want to take a quick moment of silence for the voice of the Suns, Al McCoy. Okay, guys. Like I said, there's no moving on from Al McCoy, but we're going to move on here with some other Suns news. But real quick, I have a special announcement. Now, if you guys follow me on social media, I already spoiled this, but I wanted to kind of spoil it, you know? I wanted to sort of make it a bigger deal than it really is because it's a huge honor. And real quick, one last thing about Al McCoy, especially since we're kind of talking about the special announcement here. Al McCoy even inspires me to just keep going with the Suns Geek stuff and covering the Suns on YouTube and all of that. So that sort of segues into the special announcement too. If you guys don't follow me on social media, first off, go ahead and do that. The links are literally on the ticker right here. Follow me on Suns Twitter, Instagram. Just search Suns Geek and you will find me. Facebook, all that stuff. Subscribe here if you guys are watching along live or if you're watching later. But I was approved to attend my very first Phoenix Suns Media Day this upcoming Monday. And that is a huge honor. To the people who did approve me of that, if you are watching, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I do appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody who kind of helped me with that. I had a little bit of help with that. You know who you are if you're watching. But I just wanted to say thank you. It is a huge honor. I hope that it is the first of me attending Suns Media Day of many. I hope it's the first of many. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited. If you guys don't know, I currently do not live in Phoenix. So I will be flying out there for a couple of days. So if you guys randomly see me, seriously, do not shy away. Come say hello. Unlike last time I was in Phoenix, I'm going to actually be vlogging this. I'm going to be vlogging like everything except for like the actual media day itself. Cause you know, I want to be professional. I got other things to be filming like the players and all that. And just so you guys know, I don't like, it's my first media day. So it's not like I'm going to be like getting like exclusive interviews or any of that. It's not like that, but I'm honored to be there. And I'm going to try to get as much coverage as I can. Maybe I'll try to film like some quote behind the scenes stuff. I'll try, but I'm just thrilled and honored to be there. And seriously, if it was not for you guys watching this channel and watching this show and the videos, I don't think I would have been at Media Day. So that's a huge honor. So that's sort of the special announcement. I wanted to make it a bigger extravaganza than it really is. So with that being said, we're 15 minutes into the show and we're going to cover some Suns news. We're going to try to keep this show somewhat short and then we're going to wrap it up because I got to go pack. I got to go eat lunch. I got to go to my other job. And then, yeah. So also, please, everybody, right now, wish Mama Suns Geek a happy birthday because today is her birthday. So in the comments right now, wish Mama Suns Geek a happy birthday because after all of that, we're going to go get dinner and stuff. And then I got to try to go to bed early tonight because I got an early flight. So shout out to my guy, Super Mario Hoops 24. Appreciate you being here, man. He says, rest in peace, Al McCoy. And yeah, he's Super Mario Hoops is going to segue us into our next topic. Also glad to see my guy, Frank the Tank, back in Phoenix. That's going to be our next topic. But real quick, you guys, let me just get to a couple comments here. This sort of was going to be like a Q&A kind of type live show, but I don't think we really have time for that unless you guys ask like a super hard-hitting question. We'll see. James, I appreciate you being here. He says, Geek, I think with the legend Al McCoy passing and the signing of Tyus Jones, Mason Plumlee, Monte Morris, and the new rookies along with Bud, the Suns are going to be serious contenders. Yes, fingers crossed, praying that happens. By the way, you guys, it's from the last live show, but I'm going to be uploading a video probably tomorrow that I clipped from a live show where I talk about the Suns being under the radar and why I really believe it. So stay tuned for that video tomorrow. James also says, may the greatest Phoenix Sun rest in peace. Oh, and I know I'm kind of all over the place, you guys. I promise we're going to jump into the Suns news just real quick. Seriously, like I saw PHNX uploaded a great video on Al McCoy, but there was like others. Like seriously, just go check out Al McCoy videos on YouTube. Even the Suns YouTube page has great features on Al McCoy. You can educate yourself and just go watch those videos, you guys. Rodriguez says he really didn't even enjoy retirement. He gave it all to the Suns. And I didn't mean to laugh right there. Sorry, you guys. I got to blow my nose real quick. I didn't mean to laugh right there, but it is kind of true. He literally gave his life and post-life to the Phoenix Suns. You know, I'm sure if Al McCoy could have, he probably would have given it one more year, maybe even 2 more years if he could have. But it wasn't in God's plan, you know. Jay says, got to meet Al when I first finished college and moved to Arizona. He was gracious, classy individual who never let his iconic status in broadcasting change who he was. Exactly. Any of us who have ever worked in broadcasting in Phoenix knew he was the bar we could never reach, but all wanted to one day to be close to on the same footing as. Exactly. Hopefully I read that right. Super Mario Hoop says, me when I see Suns Geek in real life, put a couple of emojis. Seriously, you guys, don't shy away. Like, I am nobody famous. Like, just come say hi to me. I don't care where I am. I don't care what I'm doing. Seriously, come say hi to me. And for real, I'm going to be vlogging. So I'll get your permission to put you in the vlog if you want to be in the vlog. Or let's take a picture. I'll probably ask you for a picture. Like, no joke. Like, let's do it, you guys. Seriously, come up and say hi to me if you see me. James says, congratulations, Geek, and honor well deserved. You live and breathe Phoenix Suns hoops and represent them well. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Double thumbs up for that nice comment right there. I seriously appreciate that, man. And thank you to everybody who's wishing Mama Suns Geek a happy birthday. Okay, guys. I said this is going to be a short show, and here we are 20 minutes later. Okay, let's finally talk about the latest Phoenix Suns news before training camp. Frank the Tank Kaminsky is back. Guys, it's weird too. I had like a brain fart moment, like a brain freeze moment. I saw the post because Priority, we're going to dive into it in a minute, but his agency, I think it's Priority Sports. I can't talk and I can't read. What am I doing? But his agency posted it. And I thought it was kind of like fake for some reason. I thought it was just somebody like clickbaiting, but I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that sounds familiar. And it was his agency. And then I kind of saw it trending and I saw people talking about it. I saw people confirming it and it was legit. His wife even tweeted, like quote tweeted it and said like, yeah, like, you know, this is legit or whatever. I forgot what she said, but she quote tweeted it. So speaking of that, Frank the Tank Kaminsky is back. And if you guys are seeing on the screen right now, let me just pull this up. Like I said, Priority Sports, and they posted this graphic of Frank Kaminsky back in the old Valley jerseys, signed Frank Kaminsky, Phoenix Suns, and it says, Frank the Tank is back in Phoenix. Congrats, Frank, on signing with the Suns. That was September 26th at about 11 a.m. And it's weird because I didn't see that for a while. I saw it like a few hours later. So this tweet didn't really gain much traction. So shout out to whoever found this and started tweeting about it, because I think it would have been like a few hours or even a day before we heard about it, or at least I did. And it's rare. Like if I miss any bit of Suns news, it's like a rare thing. But Frank the Tank is back, you guys. And real quick, I just want to make this clear. This is just a training camp deal. Now, I am rooting for Frank the Tank. There's obviously the nostalgia. There's obviously the history, because Frank the Tank was with us for like 2 or 3 years, I believe. So I am rooting for him. I am cheering for him. But remember, this is just a training camp deal, or an exhibit 10, if you will, whatever it is. I don't know if the full details have been released on it, but I know for a fact it is a training camp deal. And before we continue, I got to take a sip of my water. I've had a little bit of a sore throat, so yeah, so I'm trying to get rid of that ASAP, especially before I visit Phoenix and before media day and everything. All right, you guys. So real quick with Frank Kaminsky, you guys, I'm just reading some notes here. He averaged 8 points per game on 46.8% shooting and 4.3 rebounds in 3 seasons with the Suns, which was 2019 all the way to 2022. The 7-footer out of Wisconsin played just 9 games in his final season with the Suns. That was the 2021-22 season. And he missed 67 straight games with a right knee injury before being waived in the regular season. Now, that one season that he did play, his last season, now again, it was only a few games, but he averaged 10 points on 54.5% shooting from the field. I do remember that injury. I remember making videos about it and everything. And if I read correctly, he had like a 31-point game or something like that, like before the injury happened. And I always liked Frank Kaminsky, man. I mean, good locker room dude. Pretty much at this point is a veteran in this league, good shooter, plays hard and works hard. You know what I mean? And that's why I think he really will show the Suns that he has a lot left to prove and a lot left to give. More on that in a little bit. And I'm just excited to see what he can do. And I know that a lot of people in the Valley are thrilled that he's back. And it's going to be fun to see what happens. And we're going to talk a little bit more about, training camp rosters and Exhibit 10 contracts, because the Suns have a lot of players and people that are going to be with them entering training camp, which, by the way, you guys, in case you missed it, media day is Monday. I will be there. Literally the next day, Tuesday, is training camp. So, yeah. Continuing on here, though, you guys, Frank Kaminsky, I don't know if it was just injury related, but he played with the Rockets and the Hawks, but he didn't really play that well. It probably was injury related. And then he went to Serbia last season. Now, from what I read, he did play well over there. I don't think I have the numbers in front of me. If anybody can find those for me, I appreciate it. But I heard he played well. And then this morning, before I went live, shout out to Gerald Bourget from PHNX. He got an interview with Frank Kaminsky. Now, I'm not going to read you guys the full article, but I took a couple of quotes from that, and I'm going to do my best to read it better because you guys know me. I can't read. But this is what Frank Kaminsky told PHNX Sports. Quote, "I love it here. There's no other way I can describe it. There's just such a level of love and comfort that I have living here." Because, yes, I actually didn't know this. He was living here even after he got waived and everything. I've built a nice community here, have great friends. Everything here is set up well for me. And that's why when the camp deal started getting talked about, it was the one that I wanted just because I love being here. Because if you read the article and stuff, he apparently was working out for other teams and stuff. And I'm not saying those workouts didn't go well. I'm sure they did. But I think he just really wants to be here. And before I read you guys the last quote, and we kind of put a bow on the Suns news, I think I'm okay with this. Like, let's say Frank Kaminsky does a great job and earns a roster spot, right? Sometimes you need those veteran guys that are familiar with not only your team and the system, but are just familiar with like the community and everything, and guys that are good locker room people and good with the media and good with the fans. You need those kind of guys. Because Frank Kaminsky, wasn't he in the same draft as Devin Booker, 2015, right? Wasn't he like the 7th pick? Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that, but like, you need those kind of guys. You need those veterans. You need those leaders. And if the Suns are looking for, a veteran player who can space the floor, more on that later, by the way, and can set hard screens and play hard And God forbid, NBA gods forbid that there's injuries this season, because every team's going to deal with them. You need a guy that can kind of fill in those minutes. And if we are hoping we're going to get the kind of offense that Mike Budenholzer is hopefully going to give us, where we're going to be like a run and gun, space the floor team, launch twice as many threes as we did last season, Frank Kaminsky might be that guy. Thank you, Super Mario. I appreciate it. Yeah, 9th pick to Charlotte. I knew it. I was like 2015. I just didn't know what pick he was. And you guys know me. I'm not a big college basketball fan, but I remember watching a couple of games with Frank Kaminsky in college. Like, because I just remember there was so much hype around him and everything. I actually sat down and watched those games. That's a big thing for me because I'm not the biggest college basketball fan. Suns Fever 83 says, "Hey Geek, sorry I'm late to the party." Hey man, you are never late to the party. I appreciate all your support. Thank you for being here, man. David asked a great question. I can't wait to answer it here in a minute. But long story short, you guys, I'm rooting for Frank Kaminsky. I hope he gets it. And I just want to read you guys one more quote. What's going on here? Okay. One more quote about Frank Kaminsky. Again, this all comes from PHNX. I did put the article in the description. It's on there right now if you guys want to go read the full thing. But the final quote here with Frank the Tank. I think going into this camp, it's just about focusing on all the things that I do well. Stretching the floor, being able to play with an offense, being able to move the ball and be a good screener and be in the right places and just kind of use my basketball IQ to my advantage. I'm going to go there and just leave it all out there. And whatever happens, happens. If I make the team, that's obviously the best possible outcome. But I'm going to go in there and give it everything I have, close quote. So Frank Kaminsky's got the right attitude. If I was a coach in the NBA, that's what I would want to hear. I hope somebody from the Suns coaching staff reads that article. And I'm sure they already know because they wouldn't have brought on Frank Kaminsky if they were like, no, like you're not what we're looking for. You don't have the right attitude, but he seems like he does, and he clearly wants to be here. Now, just because you want to be here doesn't mean like you're going to earn your spot, but I'm not going to lie. I might be biased here. I'm rooting for Frank Kaminsky, man. And that's sort of going to segue us into our next topic here. But I do want to answer a quick question that I love from David here. He says, Geek, with your collection, how do you decide which hat to wear on media day? I love that question. You guys know me. I'm a huge Suns hat collector, really just a NBA hat collector. Well, not really NBA, but I just love to collect hats. And speaking of that, I think in 2025, I'm going to do like an updated Suns hat collection. I really haven't bought that much lately, but I hope I can soon. And to answer your question, unfortunately, although I really want to, I'm not going to be wearing a hat to Suns Media Day just because I do want to keep it professional. I am going to try to dress as nice as I possibly can. But I might bring a hat for afterwards because I'll probably be roaming around and doing other things. We'll see, though. You guys know when you travel, you got to kind of plan things out. But either way, I wish I could. Maybe one day they'll allow me to wear a hat to Suns Media Day, but got to keep it professional, Super Mario Hoop says, and the 8th pick was Stanley Johnson, who was the first NBA player to block me on social media. I love that so much. Stanley Johnson, man, played for Arizona, right? Whatever happened to him? I think injuries kind of derailed his career. Okay, guys. So like I said, we're 30 minutes in. I said this was going to be a short show. Clearly, that's not going to happen. But maybe we'll keep it under 45 minutes because I really only have a couple more things for you guys. So get your questions in right now and we'll see. But maybe this will be an hour show. I don't know. Okay. Here is the Phoenix Suns updated roster headed into training camp. Because again, friendly reminder, training camp starts Monday. That means players' vacations are over. And they have to report to training camp pretty much. Unlike Jay Crowder did a couple of years ago. Yeah, I just dissed Jay Crowder. Wait for it. Wait, what's going on? Well, let me say that again. Players have to report to training camp, unlike Jay Crowder did a few years ago. You guys remember that? You guys remember when Jay Crowder tweeted and then deleted it and said, I'm not going to be there? But the internet always remembers. Anyways, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me pull up the picture here. So hopefully you guys can see that. Let me know if you want me to zoom in a little bit. But here is the Suns updated roster. And I might be getting some of these things wrong in terms of like, you know, two-way contracts and Exhibit 10 contracts and training camp contracts. It does get confusing. But here it is. Grayson Allen, Bradley Beal, Bol, Devin Booker, Jalen Bridges. Don't get that mixed up with Mikal Bridges. Jalen Bridges. I'm going to butcher this name, but Mohamedi Dikate. I totally butchered that. I'm so sorry. I can't say that guy's name. Ryan Dunn, Kevin Durant. Another name I can't say. Colin Gillespie. Oso Iguodaro. Tyus Jones. There he is, number 47. Frank Kaminsky. Yes, he's going to be wearing 47. Didn't he wear like, what was his jersey number? 20-something? I don't remember. But anyways, Frank Kaminsky, number 47. Number 10, Damian Lee. Yes, Damian Lee is still on this team. Monte Morris, Yusuf Nurkic, Josh Okogie, Royce O'Neal, Mason Plumlee, Ty Washington, and Moses Wood. And then there's the coaching staff down there and all the numbers that the players will be wearing. So, oh yeah, thank you, David, for the friendly reminder. He said number 8. Why did I forget he was wearing 8? Why did I think he was wearing like 20-something? Did he wear 20-something in college? I don't remember. You guys know me. I don't remember that. Thank you, Haley. She says Frank wore number 8 with us. I totally forgot about that. All right. So that's our training camp roster. And real quick, I think a couple of those guys are on Exhibit 10s. I think we also signed Jaden Shackelford. I want to say that was an Exhibit 10 deal as well, or like a training camp deal, because you can go into training camp with more than 15 players on your roster. Like, I think some teams have like 21 players, which is insane, but that's just how it is, because you're getting a look at a lot of these guys. Now, I hope the best for a lot of these guys, because now that we actually have a G League team, which will debut later this year, we can send some of those guys over there. And now that we actually have a G League team, we can call some of these guys up if they're playing well and if we need them. You know, guys like Moses Wood and Ty Washington and Colin Gillespie and all these other guys. Okay, I think you pronounce it Diakite. I think that's how you pronounce it. Played 4 NBA seasons, 55 games across 5 teams, played in the G League. He actually put up pretty good numbers in the G League. 14 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 1 block in 18 games in the G League for the Westchester Knicks. And he also played on that 2021 Bucks team that beat the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals for Mike Budenholzer. Moses Wood played for the Hawks during Summer League, played in Washington, I believe. Oh, Washington and the University of Portland, I believe. And he averaged 10 and a half points per game, 44% shooting, 157 total games. So again, there's a lot of contracts here. There's a lot of two-way deals. I think our only two-way players are, and I think I wrote this down, it's Colin Gillespie, Jalen Bridges, and Ty Washington that are on two-way deals. And if you don't know what a two-way deal is, it's pretty much, I think they have 50 days, not 50 games, because it used to be 50 games. Or, yeah, no, wait. Yeah, it used to be 50 games. You have 50 days to pretty much be on the roster. And then afterwards, they can decide if they want to keep you, send you down to the G League game or G League, and but you have a great shot being on a two-way deal. Like, you will be on the roster. You're on the team pretty much. And And then I don't really have like the full quote in front of me, but Exhibit 10 deals, sort of smaller deals, training camp deals, and all that fun stuff. So looks like the Suns are rolling into training camp with a lot of players. And it's funny, David. I think I need you to start taking notes from my show, man, because I was going to talk about this. David says Suns also traded for John Stockton's son. Yes, John Stockton, the legendary point guard, on their G League team. That was actually no joke. My next topic. So we're just going to go ahead and dive into it. You guys can see right here, the Valley Suns. Yes, the Valley Suns, the G League team. They've been making some moves. And this one, I think I'm a little, not biased, but like, and there's nothing against David Stockton. I'm excited to see him play. I want to see what he can do for the Valley Suns. Heck, who knows? Maybe he'll surprise some people and get a shot in the NBA. But they traded Jahlil Okafor, who was a former lottery pick. I was kind of excited to see him play for us, you know? I kind of wish he would have stayed a little bit, but I guess, you know, the Valley Suns and their general manager have a different view and different, you know, look for this team. And they've made a couple other deals. Like, again, they traded for I think it's Jalen or Jaden Shackelford, who I think is going to be on our training camp roster. I think they made another move too, but this was the latest move. The Valley Suns received David Stockton, his player rights, more on that later. And then the Indiana Mad Ants, I love that name, by the way, the Mad Ants. The Indiana Mad Ants received Jahlil Okafor and Grayson Brooks. Now, I think Grayson Brooks might have played on our summer league team or summer league teams. I don't know. I got to take a sip of my water, y'all. Hold on. And real quick, you guys, this sort of goes back to like the Suns Geek Q A, which I want to do more of. But if you guys ever have a topic or something you want me to talk about, put it in my comments or DM me or tweet me. Just say, hey, you should talk about this. And that sort of goes back to Al McCoy too. I had people, and I do appreciate this a lot. I had a few people comment, hey, are you going to make a video about Al McCoy? Hey, you're going to talk about Al McCoy? But I was like, guys, that's a tall order. I was like, I'm going to pay tribute to him, but I'm like, I don't know if I can do that, you know? But seriously, like, if there's something you want me to talk about, Valley Suns related, Phoenix Suns related, heck, even NBA related, if you're like, hey, I really want to hear your thoughts on this, seriously, get in the comments. Let me know. Tweet me. Send me a DM or something. Let me know. Put it in the chat right now. And by the way, if I miss your question, I promise I will go back. I'll put it on the back burner and I'll try to get to it next live show. So again, shout out to David for this. Like, I literally had this on my list of things to talk about. And yeah, we have the son of a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest point guards ever, John Stockton's son, David Stockton, will be playing for our Valley Suns G League team. And I'm excited to see what happens, y'all. I can't wait to just watch the Valley Suns in general. I can't wait. Like, excuse me. I don't care who's playing for them. I just want to see the Valley Suns, and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, but I'm going to try my best to cover as much Valley Suns stuff as I can. There's been a few Valley Suns trades that have happened that I didn't really quote cover, but you know, it is what it is. Super Mario Hoop says, man, sad to see Jahlil Okafor in the G League. He would have been a beast in a different era. Exactly. And if there's anybody that knows that, it's me and you, Super Mario, because we know NBA history. And I agree with that a lot. Like, Jahlil Okafor would have been a beast in what, maybe the 80s, 90s, even maybe 2000s. You know what I mean? And seriously, guys, go check out Super Mario Hoops right now. He just uploaded a video on his favorite player ever, Derrick Rose, who just recently retired. So go check out Super Mario Hoops. He's been on this channel before. He'll be on this channel again, and I hope to record with you very soon. Haley asks the question, how do we watch the Valley Suns? That's a great question. At this moment, I actually don't know. I don't know if anything's been released on that. if it, not if, but when it does, you guys, I'll try to make like a YouTube short about it or something, or I'll talk about it in a future live show. So stay tuned. If I had to guess, don't quote me on this, maybe they'll kind of do what they're doing with, the Suns broadcast this year, where it's just on that streaming service. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Maybe we'll find out on Media Day. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a fan of the Indiana Mad Ants name because they were always the Fort Wayne. So now that they moved to Noblesville, I hope I said that right, it will change the name a bit, and it's weird for me. That makes sense. That's understandable. The Suns Ray says, yo, appreciate you being here, man. David says, I heard YouTube carries a lot of games. Need that fact check. You might be correct on that, David. Speaking of that, you guys, let's say you can't, afford, or you just don't have like cable, or you don't have, the funds right now for streaming services, which first off, I can relate to that. I totally get it. Paying for all these streaming services and everything is super expensive. I get it. Seriously, you guys, and I know it's cool to watch games live. Trust me, I get it. But you can literally go on YouTube right now and watch like every game, probably for like what, the past decade, if not further. You can literally watch the highlights for like every game. And speaking of this, you can watch like a bunch of G League games. Seriously, like just go right now. You can do it. So maybe they'll do like a partnership with YouTube, and maybe the Valley Suns will be on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. But that was a good question, Haley. I appreciate it. Super Mario Hoop says, I remember D-Rose attended that one Suns playoff game. We did a live stream on like 2 years ago. I remember that too. We all thought Derrick Rose was going to be joining the Phoenix Suns. That's hilarious. He says, YouTube definitely clears streaming services. Seriously, man, YouTube gets slept on for, you can literally right now, if you sign up for a YouTube account, you can watch movies that have been in theaters and made lots of money. You can watch them for free. Like if you just find them, like, and it's not like it's illegal or anything. You can literally watch them. YouTube offers them for free. And some movies they make you pay for, but it's like under $5. You can literally watch movies on YouTube. The Suns Ray says, are Amazon Prime doing the NBA? They are running NHL this year. I'm not educated enough to talk about the whole media rights deal, but I believe so. I think they're going to be doing some games. I think the best way to describe it is they are scattered. Like it's going to be on Amazon and all these other streaming services. Just, it's going to be nuts. And that's why what Matt Ishbia is doing and did, keeping the Suns on one channel, one streaming service, is brilliant. Like I think our broadcast schedule came out, and like we have national TV games, obviously, but we like most of it's just on that streaming service, the Arizona Family. So yeah. Rest in peace, Al. Hopefully the Suns win one for him this season. Exactly. Rest in peace, Al. We have to win it for you this season. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the show there. Next live show, I want to cover a couple other things that I had in my notes here, but we'll get to that at another time. I'll get to maybe a couple more comments, but we're going to wrap up the show here. Like I said, it's going to be a shorter show. 45 minutes for me is pretty short. But seriously, guys, I do want to thank you for literally everything. Thank you guys for not only being here and just watching, but just for all of the support. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you guys to everybody who wished Mama Suns Geek a happy birthday. Appreciate that. And thank you guys for letting me pay tribute in the best way I could to Al McCoy. And thank you guys for letting me just announce my little special announcement, even though I did it over social media. But again, I will be at Media Day. Now, things are crazy, and I'm going to have to kind of learn as I go, but I'm going to try, keyword, try to record a live show at Media Day, probably afterwards. And maybe I'll jump on somebody else's podcast while I'm there. We'll see. I don't know. or maybe I'll just bring out my phone and just record live. So I won't have this microphone there. Maybe I'll borrow somebody's mic while I'm there, but I'm going to try to do a live show live for Media Day. If you missed it, I will be at Media Day. It's a humble brag, y'all. I'm humbly bragging about it. But I'm so excited, you guys. The final thing that we will talk about before we get out of here is this simple tweet right here. This is just a friendly reminder. I love keeping you updated on this stuff, you guys. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, oh man, when does basketball season start? Oh, I need basketball back in my life. Well, I'm literally zooming in on the tweet right now. T-minus 25 days. 25 days, y'all, till the 2024-25 season starts. And for me personally, this is just me talking. If you're like an NBA sicko like me, the season starts on Monday. For me personally, I was talking to John from the Suns Jam Session podcast, who will also be at Media Day. And, you know, I told him, I was like, you know, for me personally, basketball season starts Monday, but I said that everybody's record on Monday is 0-0. Everybody has a clean start. And if I'm correct, the Celtics and Nuggets play October 4th. The Suns' first preseason game is October 6th. Basketball season is almost here, you guys. That's what I'm saying. That's a great way to end the show. Appreciate you, Herbert. I hope I said your name right. Appreciate you, man. He says, what's up, Brandon? Congrats on all the success. I appreciate you. You know what? The grind doesn't stop, you guys. Like, this is just the beginning. I hope this is the first of many media days. I want to keep pumping out all the best Phoenix Suns content that I can. And stay tuned, you guys. I'm going to have a video out tomorrow. I'm going to cover as much media day stuff as I can. It's going to be amazing. Super Mario Hoops says, W Stream, W Al McCoy, W Derrick Rose, W Frank, W Stockton, Geek, and L Lakers for real. We will always hate the Lakers on this channel. All right, you guys. Like I said, shorter show today, but this was a great show. Seriously, stay tuned for more content. If you guys see me uploading like crazy on Monday or Tuesday, it's probably just because it's all of the media day stuff. We'll see how it goes. I got to just kind of figure it out as I go. I'm going to try to get as much content as I can. And as sort of like a bonus, I want to just film a vlog while I'm there. Like film, you know, me at the airport and all this other stuff, hanging out with my friends. Cannot wait. Get ready. Jam-packed. And I just appreciate you guys being here. So as I say at the end of every show, you guys, God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. Remember to live life like Al McCoy did and just be a good person. Be a good, caring, honest, nice person. Be patient with people. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. I love you guys. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. Thank you for allowing me to cover the Phoenix Suns. Thank you for allowing me to be here talking about the Phoenix Suns. And I just wanted to say thank you guys over and over again. I will always stay humble. You guys are the reason I'm going to Media Day. So I love you guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Peace out. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. Rest in peace to the voice of the Phoenix Suns, Al McCoy. God bless you guys. Stay safe and go Suns.